that's what they make. They run cause I'm next. You so in the night, so lately she just got you stressed. She got no finesse, she just get undressed. Yeah, put the honey in the...
Hey y'all, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Kilo Key here and I'm back with another video. I'm so sorry if you can hear my fan. Y'all know my room is small and it gets hot. It gets hot. So today I'm just gonna bring you guys my flawless foundation routine, my flawless full coverage foundation routine. So let's get into it. So I'm starting off with a bare face. My eyelids, well, my eyebrows are done. So that's the first thing. What we want to focus on right now is our foundation. So we want to make sure our foundation is nice and primed and moisturized. I have dry skin, so this is going to be a full coverage foundation routine for my dry skin. So what I like to do first, I like to take my Mario Badescu facial spray, refresh my face a little bit, make my face feel refreshed, you know, give a nice feel to my face. And after that, I'm going in with my CeraVe moisturizing cream. I really love this cream. I have sensitive skin, so when I get heat rashes and stuff like that, mixing CeraVe and water, oh my god, that healed my skin barrier so well. It healed my skin barrier so well. So now that I have my face moisturized, I like to go in with a little extra moisturizer. So I'm going in with my Clinique Moisture Surge. Still got my little sample. We're gonna wear this little sample out. But I have my Clinique Moisture Surge that I want to use, and I like to focus that here because I get really dry in these areas. And I'm moving the Clinique Moisture Surge outward. I'm moving it outward because it does help with plumping the skin, giving you a nice radiant hydrating feel. So I just like to move that outward. So I'm gonna go in with my NYX pore filler. I need to find me another primer. I think I want to try the e.l.f. hydrating and the Essence Glow primer, but we're gonna talk about that later. So I like to focus my primer on my nose area. My nose really loves to get oily. I have combination skin and I get dry really bad after I wash my face. Sometimes I have redness after I wash my face, blemishes, all that stuff. Even though I have combination skin, I still have dry skin in certain areas as well. So I like to just put that pore filler wherever my problem blemishes are, and that's mainly on my forehead, my nose area, like I said, my cheeks, and my smile lines. I'm gonna put a little on my chin because I have a little blemish on my chin. So what I am going to do first, since this is a full coverage routine, I am going to go in with my favorite full coverage foundation. That is the Juvia's Place I Am Magic foundation, and I'm just going to put some on the back of my hand. That should be about enough. Get the rest of it off here as well. That should be about enough. So I'm just going to take it off my hand and start spreading it on my face. It's not a soft matte like the Fenty Beauty. It's velvety, and I can definitely tell that within the formula. And what I'm scared most about full coverage foundations with having dry skin is that I will look cakey, the moisture will just suck right out of my skin. But I'm telling y'all, the Juvia's Place foundation does not do that to me. Like, it really doesn't, and that's why I enjoy this foundation so much. This foundation is really good for all skin types, but I don't have severe dry skin, so maybe it's for, you know, maybe it's bearable for me. But when I tell you, a lot of foundations that I've tried, they do feel like they suck the moisture out of my face, but this one, it honestly and truly does not. So that's why I like this foundation. So I'm gonna take the last of that, put some on my eyelids, because we're not doing shadow today. So I'm just gonna put some on my eyelids, make sure I get the perimeter, my chin, and some on my neck area. So this is what we're looking like. Another thing that I like about this foundation is if you get your right color, you're going to look like skin. And if you apply it correctly, the foundation is going to look like skin. It is. But this is the coverage right now. No anything. This is simply me depositing the foundation on my face. That's it. This is what we're looking like already. So with that being said, like I said, it's a nice coverage. I love it. I don't even do heckle layers. This is enough coverage for me. But this foundation is definitely buildable, I suppose. I suppose most foundations are buildable, but I don't think you need that many layers with Juvia's Place because she gets it together. My first layer. So now I'm gonna take the Juvia's Place concealer because I have dark spots in certain areas. Like you can still see my dark spots protruding here and maybe just a little bit there. And I like to take a full coverage concealer to fix that. Now, in some other videos you would see people color correct, but I really don't care to color correct because it's not protruding so much. You know, I have on full coverage foundation and you barely can see my dark spots. This is where I naturally contour anyway, so you know it's gonna look that way. But up under my eyes, around my mouth, it's not really too much that color correcting could have done that Juvia's Place didn't already do. That's just my opinion. You can definitely color correct before applying your foundation, but if not, we can just move on to the next step. So I'm going to apply Juvia's Place in a round shape. I'm so sick of people still doing their concealer. Still doing their freaking concealer like all the way dragging it out. Don't do your concealer. Let's stop doing our concealer that way. Let's just stop, because what that does is, to me, it just takes away most of the color in your face. So let me hurry up. So I'm just gonna put the concealer in these areas, and that's all where I put my concealer at, seriously. So now I'm gonna take my Real Techniques concealer brush and I am just going to blend this out. And I try not to go past my eye here because I want it to look very, very flawless. So I try to stay within this area of my face. And I'm just blending this on out. And then I like to drag it just down just a little bit, probably to where my nose here is at, just to snatch my face a little bit. But I am bringing that concealer down instead of adding concealer all here. It makes it look a little bit more flawless and snatched because you're moving the product. You're not simply just placing the product on top of your skin and now we have too much concealer and we look ridiculous. So I like to move my concealer. And honestly, people move their concealer to fit their face shape or the face shape that they want to achieve. And I like to keep my concealer here because I like to keep my contour here to have my face really nice and sharp. So I'm just blending that out, and you really do not need a lot of product, y'all, because these products are already full coverage. So please be very, very light-handed when you're handling these full coverage products, because you do not want to end up looking cakey. or anything. So now that I feel like everything is blended out to capacity, I'm going to take my foundation brush and get all around those edges, honey. Get all around those edges. Buff everything out. Buffing everything out. Because we want to look flawless. We want to look flawless. So I like to just buff everything out and in. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a lighter concealer. I'm going to take my Revlon Stay Matte Concealer. I think this is in Golden Amber. And I'm just going to take a little bit and keep that right up under my eyes just for a little bit of highlight. Just for a smidge. And what this is going to do is going to bring your highlight, it's going to give you a little bit more brightness up under your eye, a little bit more awake like, and then I'm just going to blend that out right up under my eye and try not to go past my eye oval here, because I don't want to necessarily drag the lighter concealer down. I just want to brighten up my under eye. So I'm just going to take my foundation brush and I'm just going to blend that out. I'm going to make it look flawless. Blending is the key here, y'all. Blending is always the key, but here, to a flawless full coverage look, blending is the key. So what I'm going to do now is contour. I'm going to contour with my Black Radiance foundation stick in the color Espresso. In the color Espresso, my Real Techniques color correcting brush, and I am just going to brush that up into the concealer that I have blended out, so we can get a nice, seamless, flawless look. To move on to setting my actual face, I'm going to take an all over face powder first to set my concealer area. So just in case our brightening powder is too bright, we have our concealer, we have our pressed powder to kind of lessen up that concealer. So I'm going to take a nice angled brush to really get up under my eyes, and I'm just going to set where I put that concealer. I'm just going to set where I put that concealer so we can avoid creasing. And our base is looking flawless. Now I'm going to go into my loose powder, my Fit Me loose powder by Maybelline in medium deep. I'm going to take a small beauty blender, dampen it, and I'm going to dip in my powder, blow off the excess, tap on my hand, and set up under my eyes. Careful with loose powder, because loose powder can make your skin draw the moisture out of your skin, and this is a full coverage foundation routine for dry skin. And now I'm going to take my Fenty Beauty bronzer in Mocha Mommy, small angled brush, and I'm going to contour my nose. And I am learning to contour my nose in like a V shape, so I can have a really small snatched kind of butt nose. And then I'm just gonna bring everything down. Bring everything down. Now my nose is a little snatched, and that's all I did. I just snatched it just a little bit. And then what's gonna really define it is our powder. So we're gonna go back in our powder, blow off the excess, and set the middle of my nose, or our nose. And you see how nice and angled that is? Now we're snatched. We're not looking like Mrs. Piggy anymore. And I'm gonna go back in and clean up. So I'm gonna go back in, clean up, and I'm going to blend that out. And we are blended. And now I'm gonna take my powder once more, and I am going to set my nose contour because we want her to be snatched. We're gonna go back in with our Fenty Beauty bronzer. I'm gonna go in with another angled brush, and I am just going to set my contour, but also come up to my cheeks to get some warmth in my cheeks while also setting my contour, so you don't have to worry about like a darker contour color looking muddy on your base. I just bring my bronzer up to my cheeks, and our bronze is close to my hairline as possible. And then I like to take my foundation brush yet again and get all of that together, but just at my forehead. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my facial spray. I am going to let that facial spray kind of break up any makeup that is a little too cakey or anything. I'm just going to let it sit there and break it up, and we're going to allow this to dry before we move on to any next step. Now I'm going to take my highlighter in my Anastasia Beverly Hills Sun Dip Glow Kit. I'm going to take my highlighting brush, get a little bit of bronze and moonstone, tap off the excess, and lightly place that highlighter on the tip tops of my cheeks. See how nice and natural that's coming? I'm gonna do the same thing to the other side. Then I'm going to take that same beauty blender I applied my powder with, and I am just going to press that into my skin. And we are almost done, y'all. Now what we can do at this point, you can add your blush, you can add whatever else that you use. I might put a little blush on, I don't know. Invest in the blush because I do not have one. So next we can put on our eyelashes, and I will be right back. Oh, this fucking mascara is the truth. Brandon, look at my lashes. I don't have lashes. But look at Tarte. Bruh. Wow. Wow. I really don't have lashes, and now all of a sudden, lashes. Like real lashes. Wow. It's crack. These people at Tarte on crack. Because this is genius. Wow.